Welcome to another episode, Sis Stop Sulkin podcast. I am your host, Miss Tasha Talks Life, and today is a blessed day. Today is a new day. You woke up this morning, so whoop whoop for that. So I am now going to be putting my videos on YouTube, right? So it's kind of like a good thing, but not, because now I have to kind of make sure that I I am presentable. At least I'm not the chick that always got to put on a full face. I'm not, one of those, like, there are some videos that you will see me in a nice hoodie or whatever the case may be. So I'm not that type of person. But there were times when I recorded and I still was like in my robe, you know what I'm saying? And now I can't do that because it is going to be video as well, which I am excited for. So I can't even lie about that. But it was just so funny because I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I look, and make sure I look a little something on video for YouTube. But how are you? How are the last few days? How was your week? How was your weekend? Mine was okay. I I went to see, well, this kind of segues into the topic today. And I went to go see my sister-in-law. And we were just talking about how, like, the way our parents, or my, like, our parents trained us or taught us things or showed us things, and how we do things a little bit differently now that we have children of our own. And that had me thinking, because prior to that, I took my boys to for sushi the other night. And how that all started, let me just say, hold on. So my sister put me onto sushi a couple of years ago. I still only eat cooked sushi, but I exposed my children by accident, because I had something, and my little guy is such a foodie. Like, he just loves food. He'll try anything. And I love that for him, because I remember I was more like my middle son, where if I never heard of it before, I'm not trying it. If I don't smell too good, I'm not trying it. If it's a sauce that don't, if it's not ketchup, I'm not trying it. And that's him. And then the other one is so far, like, I'll try it. And I told him, I said, you can try it. And if you realize that it's something that you don't like, fine. You don't have to eat it, but at least you expose yourself to it. And I told my middle son, I'm like, all of these things you're not trying, you don't want to eat, you're going to get older and you're going to start eating these things, and you're going to miss out all this time or whatever. So we laugh and joke about that. So what happened was, I had sushi one night, and they were like, what you eating? So I allowed them to taste it, thinking they're not going to like it. And guess what? They like it. So now it's like, sushi Friday. That's the thing that they want to do. And I'm like, sushi adds up, So I took them out, and I posted it on my Instagram story. And my girlfriend inboxed me, and she was like, I just love this bougie lifestyle for our kids, because her son eats sushi as well. I mean, they had chopsticks and everything, but I laughed because we could have never, like, I don't even know. I've never even heard of sushi as a kid. Like, I don't even know if that was even a thing. I don't even, but we could never, right? So I said all of that to say, prior to that, I've been hearing a lot about modern parenting and modern mom and all of that. And I said, let me look into this a little bit. And when I looked into it, basically, the definition was basically, a modern mom is a mom who understands her self-care comes first, and being a mom is second. She understands and accepts the changes in life. She takes time necessary to realign herself, her relationships, her career. She's also open to learning about new and better ways to parent her children. And so I want to ask you, do you consider yourself a modern mom? So after this conversation, I want you to think about that and say, am I a modern mom, or am I a traditional mom? And I can say that I have a little bit of both, but there are definitely some things that transpired when I was younger, or that I did not bring into my parenting style now with my own kids. Like, just intentionally not passing down certain things. So some of the things that came up to me, some of the things that came out was being very intentional to expose my children to new things, i.e. sushi, traveling, showing them like we didn't go, and it wasn't so much that they just didn't want to take us. It was that they may not have had the money, or was working so much or whatever. So I'm very intentional about exposing my children to new things. This one is big: allowing them to express their emotions and their feelings. I don't know about you, but in my house, it's because I said so. Children are seen, not heard. Speak when you're spoken to. Things like that. And for me in my house, I allow my children, if they, of course, with the utmost respect, but I allow them to have that conversation, that dialogue. If they feel like something is not right, or they feel like something is right, I allow them to express that with me. I allow my kids, what's the one, boys don't cry. I'm a boy mom, and don't never, ever, ever let me hear you telling my boys not to cry, because I feel like it is very important for them to be intact with their emotions. That's why you have these grown men right now walking around here unhappy, miserable, frustrated, bottled up energy, killing themselves, killing their kids, like, because they feel like they can't be vulnerable, they can't show their emotions, they can't release this natural emotion. And so allowing them to feel, now we're not going to just be crying for no reason, but if your feelings are hurt, you are allowed to express that. If something hurts you physically, you are allowed to express that. Like, and I'm very, very, very clear on that. And also affection. My parents weren't really affectionate, but you couldn't tell me, nobody till this day, then, now, whenever, could tell me that my parents didn't love me, because I felt the love in other ways. But when I had children of my own, I was very intentional on loving on them, hugging them, telling them I love them every single day, more than, countless times a day, kissing on them and letting them see healthy affection. So allow them to express their emotions and their opinions, even when it comes to thinking of what could be a discipline for something, or let's talk it through, let's work it out. So I allow them to have a voice, because I remember not really being comfortable using my voice when I was even able to, as an older child, or even in school, or because I was silenced because I talked too much, or I was silenced because kids don't talk back, kids don't have an opinion, you just do what I say, not what I say, not what I do, type of thing. And I totally left that type of style of teaching. I did not carry that over into my parents' style, my parent teaching. The other one would be using intentional child-centered conversations. So after school, we literally have a conversation on, how was your day? What is one thing that was good? What's one thing that was not so good? How did that make you feel? What could you do next time? Like, whatever that is. And to the point where they feel so comfortable just talking about it. And there's times when I just really, really don't care about what they're talking about, of course, right? Because I got 100 things going on, but I give them that time because I want them to be open. I want them to feel comfortable talking to me. I want them to know that if nobody else is listening to you, if nobody else, I will always be listening to you. I will always have you, you could always come to me. The next thing was supporting their choices, even when you don't agree. And now I have an adult child, and there's things that he wants to do and things that he wants to buy and things like that. And I have to allow him to be him and allow him to fly. And I trust that all the things that I've instilled in him will not go unnoticed, or that it will always come through in who he is as a person, and allowing him to make the choices that he needs to make, even if it's something that I don't agree with. So, and then finally, teaching and exposing my children to the cruelties, the injustices of this world, letting them know that you are a Black boy and to be man, and things are a little bit different than they may be for your friends or whatever. And really sharing and showing them things that are happening on social media and in the news, and so that they are aware and that they act accordingly and that they know who they are. Like, we speak affirmations. My children have affirmations that they speak every day. in the morning, and we pray every morning. So I'm instilling these things in them because I know that eventually they're going to leave me. No, but and I'm like, oh my God, but I trust God, and I know that He is gifting them to me for the time being, and I'm going to do and give them everything that they need in hopes that I'm giving them the right stuff. Like, right. So I definitely identify with being a modern mom, and some of the things that was said on for a modern mom is, having hundreds and thousands of pictures in your phone, but none of them printed. I was like, oops, that's me. Another thing that they said was unknowingly teaching your baby how to use a device, right? So if you have a little baby, your child knows how to use an iPhone or an iPad to get to whatever YouTube, kids YouTube, whatever, you're considered a modern mom. What was another one? It was keeping your children up to date on social media, like having pictures of your family and things like that, which that's like almost everybody. It was funny just to see the different takes on being a modern mom. But I think most importantly, what I got from it was parenting in a way where it's not the traditional way that you were taught, and being open to letting your kids be free in who they are, and being open to understanding that you don't control the flow, in that way. Because I mean, get it, granted, of course you demand respect, of course they're going to be good citizens, of course they're going to be kind, of course they're going to have chores, of course all of that, but just knowing that you're intentionally doing things different than the way you was taught. And the bigger thing that stuck out to me was knowing as a modern mom that I must put myself first. I must do the things, hang out with my girls, brunch, massage, hair, whatever makes me, meditating, whatever makes me feel good, whatever refuels me, re-energizes me, before my family, because that's what's going to make me a better mom. Right. So that was like the first thing that I said, oh, that's me, because Tasha's going to get what she needs. Even, and sometimes I'm on autopilot, like the last episode I talked about, or I am on go because I have a deadline or whatever. So I may, but for the most part, I'm very intentional about making sure that I'm good so that my family is good, and making sure that, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, so that I can deal with the struggles and the troubles of the world. So yeah, so that was my take on that. And it was kind of interesting, and I want to know what you thought. I want to know, do you think that you are a modern mom? Do you think that, or do you say, like, I raised my kids the way my parents raised me, and everything is fine and whatever, and another thing was finding alternative ways to discipline your children than spankings or whatever. Because I mean, if I think back when I was I didn't get a lot of spankings, but the ones I did get, listen. But I don't, I feel like there's other ways, and spankings don't work for every child. And I think sometimes just a conversation of letting the disappointment be known, maybe taking away things that are most important. There's other ways to do it, or maybe making them do some physical activities like push-ups or sitting on the wall, something like that can help, as opposed to spankings. And now I'm not saying that spankings is wrong or right. I mean, everybody to each his own, because I sometimes discipline in a way that I feel fit, whatever that may be. And I'm not judging anybody for doing it, but I remember my childhood, and I remember seeing, getting spankings, and I remember, and so, but there wasn't conversations after the discipline, like, do you know why you got spanked? Or do you, what can we do next time, or anything like that? So just trying to be a little different, do things a little bit differently, because each generation is supposed to get better and better, and parents are only doing, good parents are doing the best with what they have and what they know, right? And I think also that we have to, it's a fine line between raising children to be, you know, dependent, good, and be able to speak up for themselves. And then this entitlement thing that's going on. It's like the more that we provide for them because of what we lacked or what we didn't have, the more entitled these kids are. And it's just like, wait a minute, you know, I'm trying to provide a better life for you because of what I didn't have, or vice versa. But there's a fine line. And I think my first child, I didn't know, but there's a 12-year difference between him and my other two. And now I'm learning that it still has to be something with balance, and something still that is earned, and something that still that is worked for. And, you know, and I've grown too. Me and my first child basically grew up together. We was both, you know, babies, having a baby, whatever. So I just really think that that's a really interesting title, Modern Mom, and I like it, and I identify with it in most ways. And I just want to know what you think. What do you think? Do you identify with being a modern mom or not? Traditional mom. So I hope that was interesting for you. I really would like to hear some feedback, but you know, you can find me on social media, Tasha Talks Life. Everything is in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, okay, I need you to share this with a friend, share this with a coworker, share this with someone, and also scroll all the way down and leave a 5-star review. That is how we help the show to push out to more people. I greatly appreciate you. It's free. It literally takes less than 2 minutes. If you're not really ready to join a course and you just want to jumpstart a journey on better health and trying to, you know, understand what's needed, what's the next steps for yourself, you can book a better health chat with me. Go also into my, it's in the show notes, but you can also go to my Instagram and click the link and book a 30-minute fast-paced call. On that call, we're going to discuss the roadblocks that are stopping you from achieving your goals, the desires and dreams that you have for yourself, and an actionable step or something that you can do right now to jumpstart that journey and get the ball rolling, because you deserve to live a life that you love, and you deserve to look amazing while doing it. So if that is something, go to betterhealthmom.com if that is something that you are interested in. If you know somebody that may be interested, you can also send it to them. And I just want you to know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you tuning in every single week. I appreciate you. And I want you to have the most amazing week. So be well, and remember that your past does not dictate your future. Till next time.